It's time for you to start skipping strings like a pro. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel, and yes, it is time for yet another lick lesson from yours truly, the Bald Shredder. And today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do some string skipping arpeggios in the key of E minor. Now, a few things before we get started, guys. Now remember, number one, take it slow as you need to. I would recommend doing them very slowly in the beginning without a metronome until you have all the note positions and the notes on the strings, which frets am I pushing, which strings. You have all those spots memorized, and you can do it very, very slowly without like messing up or hitting any wrong notes. Then click on your metronome, and then again, start very slowly with the metronome, or as slow as you need to, as fast as you can, I guess, without it being like sloppy or messy. And then, once you've got it down pretty good, up to a pretty good speed, and it's clean, and it's not sloppy, then take that and apply it to different keys, different strings, different scales. You want it to evolve, you want to morph it into something, you want to make it your own. Alright, so as I already mentioned, I said this is going to be in the key of E minor, and we will be playing this string skipping lick arpeggio mostly on the first 4 strings. And I'm going to start off really slow just to show you like the main positions of where we are when we're doing these. So what am I doing exactly? Well guys, I'm picking the first note and then I'm pulling off to the second note, and I'm doing that on the E string, the first string. Then I'm skipping the B string. We're not doing the B string at all. That's why it's a string skipping arpeggio. So you play the first 2 notes on the E string, you pick, you pull off, then you jump down to the G string, you pick the first note, you pull off, and then you land on that last note on the D string, which is picked. Here's the whole sequence again. So you see how we're skipping that second string? There was nothing on the B string at all. Now that we have the positions memorized and we know what frets, what notes, what strings we're pushing, let's expand on that a little bit. Alright, now we're going to add in some more notes in the same position before we jump up to the next position. So starting in the C major, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to ascend like we did, starting on the E string and going all the way down to that bottom C note. But then we're going to come back to the G string and do a couple of extra notes on the G string, ending on the G string on the 12th fret, and then we're going to move up into the next position, the D major position, and then we'll do the same thing before finally moving up into the E minor position. Now remember guys, there is no hard and fast rule as far as which notes you should be hitting, which notes you should be avoiding, which note do I land on before I move to the next position. You can do it in all sorts of different combinations, and that's what I recommend that you do. Change it up, move it around, change the notes, everything. Make it your own. Alright guys, now we are moving up to the final version of this sequence of string skipping arpeggios, and I'm going to be adding in some extra notes. It's gonna look a little notey, like wow, where are all those notes coming from? But again, I'm going to play it very slow. You guys take it slow, pick out the notes very slowly, and just take your time with it. What I'm going to be doing here, guys, is I'm going to be doing like the same sequence that I started off with, starting on the high E string, pick the note, pull off, go down to the G string, down to that C note on the D string, and then I'm going to work my way back up with the series of like hammer-ons, pull off, picking notes, and finally you're going to see that I'm going to end up with that high C note on the first string, which is on the 5, 6, 7, 8, 8th fret. That's where I'm going to end. and then I'm gonna move up to the D position for the next sequence, and then I'll move up to the E position, the E minor position for the final sequence. Let's take it real slow at first. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully you noticed when I was in the middle position, the D major position, that I ended on that A note on the G string. And you hold that A note for like a second, and then you move into the E minor position, and then hopefully, again, you noticed in the E minor position, when you're on the G string, there's some like alternating notes, pull-offs and stuff going, from like the 12th fret or the 14th fret and the 16th fret, and then kind of working my way back down to that final E note on the D string, 14th fret. All right, guys, so I hope you made it all the way through. I hope you hung in there with me. Just go back and rewatch the licks. You can even slow them down. You can go into the settings and you can slow the video down if you want to make it a little bit slower. And just go through it, pause the video, pick out the notes, find those positions, play the video, get a little bit more, pause it again, pick out the notes, find those positions, take it very slow. Start working it with the metronome, get it up to speed, work it, and then start moving it to different positions around the neck, different scales, different keys, different modes, whatever, different strings even. And just to finish up the video, I'm gonna give you like an example of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna shift from the key of E minor and I'm gonna go to B minor, and again, I'm gonna skip that second string, but I'm gonna play all 5 of the other strings, and at the very end, I'm gonna end up at the low B note on the 6th string. All right, guys, so let me know what you thought about this lesson. Is this something that you enjoyed? Is this something that you wanted to learn? Is this something that you can apply to your own playing? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.